Okay, Ravneet. You know what? I sent us live. Yes, I know.
It's
This
okay.
is this is not the way this was supposed to be, now was it? However,
It's
you know
okay.
what? I clicked you in and we went live. So we're gonna work with this. How are you?
Uh, I'm good. I just had my dinner,
Okay.
um, and I just grabbed myself some hot water, so I'll drink when we talk. I cannot have caffeine, so
Oh,
yeah,
you can't have caffeine. No, no.
yeah. How are you?
You know what? I'm good. I'm good. I got up this morning and every time we have a live, anyway, that day when I get up, my mind space is
Mm,
in that space. And I was listening
yeah.
to a lot of Carl Jung. You know who I'm talking about?
Uh
Carl
huh.
G.
Carl
Um,
Jung. Uh huh.
yeah, Carl Jung. That's it. That's it. Um, he's good, anyways. And it was just stuff that was, that lean toward what we were going to be talking about today, and that is hermit mode. But how have you been?
Yeah. Um, it's been interesting. Yeah, I think today's topic is relevant because I'm kind of in that space. I go in and out. Um,
Hmm.
but it's been a relaxing day.
Hmm.
Yeah, how about you?
It's been good. We're getting that winter blast, that uh storm weather. Like it's been. Let me see. Today I woke up to like -12, and then it's snowing intermittently. So and it's a light fine snow. But that's if you say, how have I been? A lot going on in
Mm,
the planet. And I do think that there's something going on with the weather. Definitely. I
mm,
definitely think that there's something that is
yeah, it's been really cold, especially in the North Americas, right?
frigid temperatures, really frigid temperatures. And if it's not frigid temperatures and ice, you're dealing with, massive snowfall. And in
Mm.
areas of Nova Scotia and here in Canada, hello,
Hi, Janine.
Janine.
Welcome.
Hello, Janine. In Ontario, well, over Canada, all over Canada, we are experiencing, either or massive snowfall. And, I don't know whether you've been following the United States, what's going on over there, but you know what? Yeah, areas being hit with just, and it's not done. So it's going to be interesting. Hi,
Mm.
I am 8. You are 8 years old. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Janine. Uh, I want to say welcome, but I also have to tell you that this is an adult podcast. So, what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to ask you to leave the room, honey, because some of our topic um, is I believe from more of an adult content. Okay, so I do appreciate you popping in the room, but for those of you that follow us, we have a guideline, and I do put all my videos adult. So I'm gonna ask that you leave the room. Okay, and
There was some hate speech going on, so I reported
good.
um, that person. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, sorry, you were talking about the Americas. Yeah.
right. Yeah, just that you know what. In terms of weather and weather patterning, um, there's definitely, a pattern that is similar all over right now. We're running with a similar pattern.
Yeah, that is interesting because I
Hello,
we
hello,
don't
Bethany.
Welcome, Dylan. And low battery. Interesting username. Interesting
Yeah,
handle.
I want to know where that was coming from.
Yeah, it's
It's
weather
weather
manipulation.
manipulation, definitely weather manipulation, Dylan. Definitely weather manipulation. And I listen. There's a video that it's going around in reference to the snow and it being plastic in the snow, and people are burning it, and you can smell the plastic. So I did my own test with my snow, and I'm going to tell you first of all, I burn wood to heat my home. So what I do with my ashes that I remove from the stove, because you do have to clean those ashes out, there I use them in my driveway because they are also a good just as you would use salt, it melts the ice.
Interesting.
So when I put it on top of this snow, when I poured my live ashes, because some of the ashes were live, I could smell plastic. So, if you have children, tell them not to eat the snow. And you know what? It's terrible, but I would say try and have as little communication or interaction with it as possible, because I think that there are particles that definitely we could definitely ingest. And here's the thing: you have to remove it. You have to do a snow removal, which means you have to shovel. So, you know, big ups to my nephew who has been doing the shoveling as of late, but he's always geared up anyways. But
There's some comments. I'm not, I'm just trying to follow what you're saying, but yeah.
I'm now
Mighty
10% plastic. Yep. Butane.
Mighty Beast added a comment.
I'm plastic. Oh my God. And butane. Butane. I don't know what that means, but you know what? What are they using? Butane? Yeah, like shit.
Previous
It
comment.
doesn't smell plastic. It's a Google search. When you light the snow, the but
Butane.
butane stick to the snow. Hmm. Well, I don't know. What about the ashes, though? What about the ashes? I was putting live ashes on the snow, and I smelt plastic. So this is what I'm saying. I don't
Hmm.
know. Anyways, I'm saying play it safe. This is not about being paranoid. We are not living in normal times. If anyone that follows me on my channel, I actively talk about how we are in a warfare and we don't even realize it. We are being warred against, and they're using many different levels, and weather being one of them. So, anyways, just stay on guard, and knowledge is power. And this is not a situation where ignorance is bliss. Anyways, so I'm going to come out of that mode. Just we went live early, so this is good. You know, we'll do some housekeeping. Well, we did. You know what? I
We
listen.
did.
Once again, YouTube just put us there. So if it wanted to know if we were ready, we are ready. Spontaneous. You got to move, roll with it when
Yeah.
it's done, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sipping my tea, my herbal
Cool.
tea.
What kind of tea are you drinking?
This is lemon and ginger.
Oh,
Lemon and ginger.
good combo.
It is a good combo. It's the you know what? I'll tell you something. It's not my own mixture. If it was my own mixture, it would be really good. But it's a tea bag. I keep it
Mm,
today.
okay.
Hmm.
Cool. All right.
What about you? What are you sipping on?
Is this water?
Oh, your H2O today.
It's just H2O.
Sorry. That's all right. I need the
Yeah.
soothing. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about hermit mode. And, you know, If you've been following us and following my channel or Ravneet, you will see that most of our topics are on the healing journey. Most of our topics, well, all of them have been on the healing journey in the different stages and phases that one comes through or goes through. And one of those stages is the hermit stage or hermit mode, rather. And the importance to going in hermit mode. And we'll talk about that and what that means and what it looks like and the benefits of it. Hopefully, we can get through all of those points by the time we're done today's discussion. But welcome, Rebneet, again. Rebneet, Winds of Reflection, here with me, who is
Thank
my
you for
co-host.
having me.
Always a pleasure, baby girl. Always a pleasure. I look forward to this. I look forward to our conversations. So,
Yeah,
hermit mode.
like
What is hermit mode, Revneet? Because you're really inspiring this. You've inspired this today's topic.
I think hermit mode is um just something that is coming out of the need to be in alignment with yourself, especially during today's times when it's pretty chaotic and everything is kind of breaking down, um, metaphorically and really, like in real, right? Um, and I think it demands a need to go within so that you can come from a centered space, you can act from a centered space rather than reacting. Because I feel like there's a lot of rage baiting going on. I don't know what you think
Mm.
about it, but I feel like not one issue is important than the other, but the way each one of us are being
There is definitely the energy.
distracted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I felt the need um personally that it's very important during these times to stay centered and to come back to yourself and be proactive rather than reactive, because you
Mhm.
can very easily be all over the place because that's just how current times are. People want you to react.
React.
Um, yeah. What do you
That.
think?
Oh yeah. I think it's a time where you know what you step away to get clarity and clarity meaning lining up and focusing on what really belongs to you, what and what you feel, not that is being thrown at you because there's so many things right now going on that you know what you got many things out there that you can get a reaction to and it's multiple so um there is definitely a need to be centering oneself and I centering so that you don't get caught up emotionally and start reacting because that's what's going on the outside. So when you center, it helps, I believe, to center that of which is around you. So that's the power of when you take that time to go into hermit mode. I think it's a time for perspective, and gain
Yeah.
a perspective. But from the tarot sense, because that also inspired this, what does the hermit mean? The hermit card.
I actually want to really read out from this book because I think it really helped me understand this archetype even more. It
Right?
is, and welcome everyone
Hello,
in the
Henry.
chat.
And yes, it's been a
Hi,
bad
Mom.
storm.
Yeah.
Hello, Mia.
And let me see.
And bye, mighty beast.
It is the Witch Sister Tarot, and this is the archetype, the art, which
Okay.
is really interesting. But I'll read what it says. In this modern world, and this is by Julia Jeffrey. I don't want to um, take the credit. It says, in this modern world, we can find ourselves constantly bombarded with information. Our senses are overstimulated and we can become desensitized. It's easy to forget the value of silence, of time and space to reflect, to just be present in the moment. But we all need this at times simply to remain healthy and whole. If we are seeking to hone our skills, pursue a course of study, or practice spiritual development, that inner space is all the more vital. I really liked how she said that inner space. It is
Mm,
creating that space within your being so
yeah.
you can actually do the things that you want to do. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Rather than just
Mhm.
using, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
or acting in a way that is out of hypervigilance, where you're just moving
right.
because it's action. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's essentially what it says that um especially during these times when we are using this medium, right, the social media, um we have access to a lot more information than we used to, which is not helpful all the time. It's helpful because we're getting to know things that we might not have in the past, but that also means that we have a lot more access than we can process, you see.
Right.
And not everyone is just sitting and chilling. They're also working. They also have different roles and responsibilities um, to do in their daily lives, right? So I think it is critical um, to come back to yourself. That's what we're talking about. To create some kind of way, some kind of like time period, something to just come back to yourself. Um, and I also find that better habits, like the moment you wake up, if you go to your phone, that's the time when when you're actually in your, what is that called, alpha
Yeah.
frequency, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so you're more attuned to your real self, to your spiritual self.
Yeah.
And so developing better habits of just being present and not going to electronics
Yes.
um, really helps, I have found. Because I have been there. I used to pick up the phone the first thing, but I think it makes a huge difference just not doing that. um yeah.
And it just,
What do you think?
oh, definitely, because listen, I myself, and it because just because I am listening to, I am choosy on what it is that I am listening to when I am on, because a lot of mine is social media,
Right.
that I will go on. So I'm very selective on what it is, but still, you have to pull away, because even I know that
Mm,
I need to hear silence, just silence. Silence
yes.
is that's where the real stuff, I think, really starts to happen. And the more you allow
Mm,
yourself to go into the silence, because distractions are everywhere, just not amongst people, but our phone can be the distraction. So that need to definitely go into just having silence, because that's where it really happens. I do believe necessary. So yes, I agree. Sometimes it's a battle for myself, because I can too get caught up
right.
into the distraction.
Right. It's really interesting because there's a fine line between um being informed versus distracting yourself. And
Yes.
only you can know that, but only when you take the time
Mhm.
to observe yourself, right? And that's what I think hermit mode really is. You can't really leave the world. That's not, I think, what we're talking about, but that just the need or habit to step away sometimes and um, be with yourself and really whatever it is. Everybody has their own
Because when I
um,
think of my hermit mode,
ritual.
I
Yeah.
consider it's I
What
just
is that?
I
Yeah.
pick me. It's I'm really selective on where I'm putting my energy and who,
Mm,
and even more than that, it's
mm,
probably very little right now
mm.
uh, that I am putting myself out there in terms of interacting with people because my requirement right now is to be more on in my own solitude. But it doesn't mean that I'm completely in solace because I am having interactions with people. But I'm
Mhm.
also very selective on who those interactions are with right now. So that's for me is what I'm considering
Yeah.
a form of
Like,
hermit.
isn't that interesting though? Because I think hermit mode for me meant very different. Like even a couple months ago,
Yes,
it was like just staying away from everything and everyone, and just be by yourself. But like it is interesting how the meaning changes as life
if you
happens
grow,
and
if you grow,
and as you grow, and it has become more of um a daily practice rather than just
yeah,
being very, physically controlling, I guess, that version, right? Because
yes,
I think as you evolve, like you said, like as you evolve, you understand that we are not really separated. Like we're all connected, we can feel each other as a collective, emotionally, mentally, all of us. Um, so there's no way that you can
yeah,
just be by yourself. But I think that it's really interesting because I'll give an example. My mom was in the evening saying that she feels the need to take out time for just herself.
mm,
Like even if we are in this we're living in the same house. I was sitting in the sun, she was sitting in the sun, but like I was outside, she was inside. And she felt just doing that creates such a difference. You see what I mean? Just
yeah,
being in your own presence, right? And I think that's what we're talking about. That, and there's another story that's coming to my mind. Stop me if I get too away from the topic, but
yeah,
it said that this person was sitting by the river and meditating, and this person saw the one sitting by the river and thought, oh, they're so alone, let me just go and sit with them
mhm,
so they don't feel so alone. And when they went to them, they're like, I wasn't alone until you came in.
mm.
I wasn't alone. I was with myself. Now that you have come, I've lost myself. It's like, it's just really interesting. But that's what we're talking about, that, right?
Oh yeah, like I found myself in that positioning, like what going. Yeah, oftentimes, I would go to the river. This is when I lived in Windsor, Ontario,
Yeah, you
and
did tell me. Yeah.
that was my to go to place. And I went there often at certain times because I knew that I wouldn't have many interactions, and I knew the
Mm,
times when I would. But my
yeah.
point being, if someone started to interact with me when I really wanted to be in my solace, in my peace,
Mm,
it was just like,
mm,
ugh. So
yeah.
yeah, I wasn't. No, I didn't want to be. I didn't. I'm not feeling alone. I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to interact right now. This is my.
I think that is it's so interesting because I don't know from where this mentality came of like if you are by yourself, that means you hate other people. But I think it's a very healthy practice because even cats do that. Like they want to be with you, but they will also need their space. And
Yeah,
they, it's just really interesting because that actually teaches you what healthy relationships look like, right?
yes,
When you're completely, I think it's really interesting. And I'm going to the psychology side of it because I feel like it's important, maybe, to correlate when we have abandonment issues. It's even harder to relate to this archetype. But I think at the end of the day, it's really healthy to experience other people with a bit of distance and how powerful that is, right?
you you uh, you gave the example of you and your mom having being in your own
Mm.
space, you outside, she inside, and the power that gave you, And I'm going to say this, that my most powerful exchanges was being in the presence with someone, and we didn't have to say anything. Just, you know what? There comes a point where you don't have to keep talking and keep talking,
Right.
and you're just keeping company. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's a power, and
Yes.
very few people, I can tell you, that you can do that with, because some people are afraid of the silence or what might lie be in between the silence, you know? But yeah, I just had to share that's there for, and I too at one time was one of the people that may have been afraid of the silence, and I was the chatter,
I
but
still do it. I mean, I think I'm still working on it. It's like, and it's again, if you don't take the time to observe yourself, you'll never catch that pattern, right?
mm,
It's like when you're uncomfortable, you start chattering.
yes,
And it's like, can I just sit with this and just sit with the discomfort and see what
yes,
happens? Nothing
yes,
is good.
yes,
It's just
yes,
interesting.
yes. Oftentimes, when we feel like we have to keep talking, um, eh, we miss an opportunity because we feel the need to keep talking, or the fact that we're also exposing something inside of ourselves. Why we have to keep talking? You just said it, being uncomfortable. And what is it that you're uncomfortable with? What is it that you are uncomfortable with inside that moment?
Yeah. It's just interesting. I feel like silence is as I continue to grow and age, I'm finding that silence and presence are more powerful than any action ever is. Of course, we do need action at times, but I feel like your presence, which again comes from you containing your energy, and that's what we're talking about. That's what hermit energy really is, to bring back all of your energy that you have expended outside. Um, and the power of that, because then it's more focused. You can use it at your leverage, right? Especially during these times. And I don't know what you think, but I've always felt like we think that chaos is happening just now, but it's always been there. It's just been very unconscious. It's been in our minds and it has just manifested right now outside. And so it feels like, oh my God, where did that come from? It had always been there. We were just
We've
contained.
been acting very passive aggressively. We've
Yes.
been acting in passive aggression, and that's been
Right.
the spirit that I think that as a society we've been leading with. I love the background, and I don't want to lose the point, but I want to go back to the point of because your background made me think of this, and me talking about when you're with someone and what being able to you don't have to speak anything. It's like
Right.
setting out, enjoying your front deck because your scenery right now is looking like what my scenery would be looking like. Somebody pops in. I'm saying I'm just out here chilling, having my, just enjoying the view, and they just want to go. When the other
Mhm.
person who is connected, they don't have to say much. They slide back in and they start enjoying the view, which means you're taking in the birds, and you might have the odd comment about whatever. So, anyways, I just had to go to that point because of your background. It is beautiful, beautiful background.
Yeah, and I try to match it with our topic most of the time
Mm,
because I feel like I think we, especially when humans have been doing a lot rather than being,
mm,
um, we need to go back to here because I think nature really teaches you to be present and not talk and just be there. And I think we as and I have a hard time um not chit chatting with other people too.
right.
And so to get comfortable with being silent, why is it unsafe? Why does it feel unsafe? So that's the work that I need to do. And I'm sure other people have their own set of issues, but that's something that we are talking about today. That why are we so uncomfortable with silence? And also, and I think you mentioned that before, the real answers always come from silence. It's not, it's like right now the frequency is we want to solve it, we want to solve it, we want to solve it. And like I think it's Einstein's statement that you cannot solve the problem from the same frequency that created it. It's
No.
just like that. We are
Yes.
updating our frequency in a way.
Yes.
Um
Yes.
and
So
the answers,
tuning in the
yeah,
channel. See if you
right,
stay in it's like, you try and tune in the radio station. Well, now you're trying to in order to tune in the channel, that's where the uh
right,
you have to be silent. Going into more hermit mode allows you to tune in the channel.
right. And it's life changing. It's really life
Mhm.
changing because I have found that, and I think it's just so interesting. Like, life will teach you something new every time you go into a phase like that.
Mhm.
What I mean to say is like maybe I'm not allowed to share it because it just keeps zup zup zup. Every time I try to channel it, it's like zup zup. I think most of us are in a period of transformation. And when I say transformation, it's really like major ego deaths. Where are we operating from? Are we operating from the poor victim, physical me, OMG, it's happening to me?
Yes.
Or I'm just this consciousness operating through this human body, you see? And hermit mode, I feel like really helps us go back to our real selves, which is not this human body, which is not anything of this, but this is just an expression of it. And really go back to that center and then see what do you want to do now? What do you
Yes.
want to do? And I think all of us are being pushed in one way or the other to our real selves. And it's uncomfortable. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But I think it is heavy and we have been carrying this pain for too long. Um, and that's the beauty of transformations that it just gets better. It just gets better. It gets worse before it gets better. But
I was thinking about, the shadow.
I went rambling, huh?
No, 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 you are right on time. But what I thought about was the shadow and our shadow. You know what? First of all, you know what? I think that before you can integrate it, you have to acknowledge it. And so when you acknowledge that shadow and knowing that, that shadow is just a reflection on what's going on out there,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
another thing.
you in order to integrate it, you have to acknowledge it. Do you
100%.
and um
Yeah.
the whole point from drawing away, because we're seeing a lot of the shadow side of humanity, which is the same thing that's inside of us. But when you acknowledge it, you draw away and say, "This is I have
Yeah,
work to."
and that's wow. Yeah, yeah. That is
Now I feel like
powerful.
I just went on a whole tangent, but
No, because that is true. I think that to this is a time for us to come to terms with, like you said, our shadow side, because what happens is the parts of us when we don't acknowledge them and we shove them under the carpet because they're not acceptable by society, family, whatever it is, they
it
take
becomes a
over, and
lesson,
that's what we are saying
a
seeing,
lesson
right?
lesson.
Right. Right, and that's what we are seeing. There's so much suppressed anger in people. Like, I was talking to you the other day, everybody's like, Americans are, I'm just saying, not everybody. When we state something, it's not everybody, it's
Right.
obvious. But it's like, Americans are so warm and friendly and cute and all of that. But people who are um, hired by ICE are also Americans. You see what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yes.
and I'm just saying, Nazis were also Germans and Jews were also their fellow citizens of the country.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that's what we're talking about, that if we don't acknowledge the the dark side of ourselves, they can take over, and that's what we are seeing today. And to really, um, first of all, acknowledge that in ourselves,
Yeah.
which
Because in order
then,
to suppress
yeah,
something, it's going to come out in other ways. You're just not going to see it, but it's really your
right.
shadows. Your shadow is going to, uh, it's going to be seen whether you want it to or not. You keep trying to push it underneath the carpet, put it underneath, but eventually it forces itself to be seen. You know,
And I think it's just interesting because this is a really good opportunity. I know we have social media, but oh my God, the social media is also helping us face the parts of us that we don't want to see.
Mm. Yes,
And
yes,
that's why it is challenging for all of us, because we are pushed to face all of these aspects of ourselves that we
yes.
don't even believe we have.
Mm, that's true. I
So
was
you
thinking,
see,
what? Oh my goodness, yes, yes. Listen, I have come to the
yeah.
conclusion, like our last live, I was going on about nails and eyelashes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're not going to reiterate that one, but here's
Right.
what I would say. What I figured out at the end of the day, it's none of my business. It's none of my
Well,
business what somebody else is choosing to do. And you know what? Sometimes, what? Opinions are just better left unspoken because it's just your opinion, you know? And, that's there goes a moment of where, emotions. I allowed myself to be in the emotions and just express it because once I walked away from them and I looked at it and I thought, it's none of your business. And really,
mm.
it's not all that to me, you know? So I guess I'm going
And
to
that's
apologize to the nail, the
me
nail, and
too. Sorry.
I love people because you know what, girl, go do you. If it makes you do you, then do you. That's what I'm suggesting that you do
Right.
because it's none of my business.
And that's what I think we're talking about, that
Hmm.
hermit mode means you have emotions, but you know when to talk about it, when you don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
Because the problem is where we focus, it
It
expands.
grows. Where your focus grows, it grows. Yeah.
And so, do I want to focus on this particular aspect of humanity right now? Or do I want to acknowledge it, but I
Yes.
don't want to expend my energy there. And I think that's what you're talking about, right? It's powerful. It's like it's really interesting because I have my challenges too in this aspect. It's
Yes.
not, we're all learning, right? It's like, okay, I saw something in you, but now do I want to create a full chapter on it?
Right. Right.
And if I am, that means there is something I don't want to acknowledge within myself.
Right. Right.
So why am I triggered? Let's talk about that.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Isn't that interesting? Like,
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Um. And you know what? I'm just gonna go back to the nail thing and the eyelash thing. I sit up there and I'm thinking, why was I so triggered about that? And I think that truth be told, as I sit there and I examine that, if I take the moment to examine, it's probably because you know what? I'm not taking the time to put it in myself. I don't. I don't. I'm not. I don't. I am. I'm probably.
mm, hmm,
I need to pamper myself more. So you know what? Once again, kudos to you because you know what I think that what that was doing for me, it was reflecting what it was that I wasn't doing with myself. Because listen, I'm going to tell you something. I probably could be walking around here like Farmer Clem every single day. Now, listen, I'm being honest. The weather has been at sub-zero temperatures. You're not trying to be cute. And I think that there's an importance because not just about being cute, it's about putting time
yeah,
into the nurturing of you. And a part of that is
right.
looking after yourself. And so, you know what? I'm just having a real in the moment, teachable
But
moment because I just figured something out. I just figured it out. So, you know what? Listen, you're seeing growth right here in real time.
but
Yeah.
that's another thing that I learned was that I get very uncomfortable when people express their emotions because I don't go on. I'm very much like, okay, I feel this and this is what it is, and I'll intellectualize,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? That's not right either. If you feel something, and that's something like, if you feel something strongly, I think emotions are just the way we process information. There's nothing right or wrong about them,
You know, I'll
right?
tell you, it's like, let's say, on a serious note, it's something that I'm on a continuum working on. And that is, you know what, not allowing my emotions to overtake me. You know what? Yet life is providing me with teachable moments. In this chat, our chats, that sometimes stuff ends up in the comments, like you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the old me, it was like pull up, you know. No, seriously, the old me, it was like, uh you got it was easy to get a reaction because you know what? Triggered. I allowed my triggers to make me react. So in seeing
Mm,
that's something that I've been working on. So um and I see where
yeah,
that's getting better in it.
it is.
It's not allowing people to because I see what it is. I play the full picture through, and once you do that, it becomes a little bit more humorous and people are not able to uh invade your energy field. because that's really
I
what it
think
is, drawing people into your energy. By
right,
the moment, the first time you react, the
right.
first time you react, you know, and
And that's the difference, right? When you get in
mhm,
tune with yourself.
mhm,
Um, and
mhm,
I think each one of us have unique set of ways of being and challenges. It's like to really, that's, I guess, is the flow state in which we realize, okay,
mhm,
this, I'm feeling a certain way, I need to get it out, and it's not impacting anyone, but
mhm,
I need to get it out,
mhm.
and I don't need to like harm someone. I'm just saying, like, but I can still create space to process this, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
sometimes I don't need to. Sometimes it's
mhm.
just not my thing. And to understand the difference where you know, it's like to it's really raising a little child. It's like to let them cry when they need to cry, and to explain them when there's, you know, then there's
I
something
thought,
that
you
they
know
need to
what,
understand.
the moment should be the parent of self. You go
Yeah,
in and
it is
parent
parenting.
yourself, and you know what you know what you are doing your own
Yeah,
processing or resolving. You know your own parent within. So that's really what happens when you start to heal. You do
it is.
become your parent. You start to parent yourself from
Yeah,
a place of and so the mother
yeah.
side of you sometimes kicks in, I think, during those times and say, come on,
Yeah, and that's
higher.
what we're, yeah, it's like when the father needs to come and be like, I'm there for you. Like yesterday, that's what happened. I was triggered, and my inner child was like, I just hate everyone. Okay. And everything. I need
Mm-hmm,
to just leave,
mm-hmm,
you know?
mm-hmm,
And I was like, listen, I'm there for you. I am
mm,
going to protect you.
mm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
And calm down. That's where the father comes in.
Yes.
Because the child is freaking out because it feels
Mhm.
unsafe.
Oh, yes.
And my inner child was like, I don't care, I just, you know, like when children are going through a tantrum phase, it's like,
Oh,
I just
yes.
don't need no one, just leave me alone, and blah blah blah, and you don't care and for me and all of that. I'm like, that's where the, it's just interesting. And then it calmed down and it was like, you know, you're fine, and I got you,
Mm-hmm,
and you can just relax now. And then really, it's just really interesting, you know, the whole process, but that's what it is.
think,
Rather than projecting it outside, you look, and I, again, I want to reiterate, we are supposed to live with other people,
mm-hmm,
and sometimes we do need help,
mm-hmm.
but to understand when you do need help, and sometimes you got this, you know, it's just interesting, right? What do you think? Like,
Yes. I think that you know what it's creating the balance, especially when you're
it
coming
is
from
balance.
because you're the reason why there's a need to find the balance is because there was an imbalance. You're coming
Yeah.
from imbalance or toxic, and it does become toxic when you don't when um, things are already
Yeah.
set for you and you have to follow a certain way and whatnot, and you're finding your own autonomy.
Mm.
There's a balance in between finding your own autonomy and uh,
Yeah.
acknowledging the other person or the situation.
It's, yeah, it is still a challenge for me. I will not deny, because I tend to do everything myself, which tells me, um, you know, even yesterday I was, I should probably ask for help, but then the emotions take over so much. Like it's hard for me to even handle myself.
You
But
know, I'm going to say this that reaching out and asking for help in that moment. It means, you know, sometimes we need help processing
Right.
what's going on, or
Yes.
we're so
Exactly.
bodied with so many feelings. And you know what? That whole I can do
Yes.
it myself is coming from a place of, and here's what I can do it myself is coming from that old pattern of behavior of, you know what? I can't rely on other people. I have to do this myself. And that's not
Right.
necessarily true. And so
Right.
that self-denial also comes in where, you know what, sometimes you do need help processing.
Right.
You're coming from a place of where, you know what, we've all always been processing other people's shit. That's coming from a place of imbalance.
Mm,
So you help people process to a point, and then you know what, they take the reins and they start doing their own processing. And if you're doing that and it's healthy, then you know what, you're not
yeah.
always trying to process for that person. But when you're coming out of the toxic environment, you just say, hell no, I'm not doing that. But you know what? Not realizing also, I think we're coming to the realization it's okay to help
Right.
and or
Right.
help processing sometimes. Because we're
Right.
not superhuman, but because we come from the dynamic of, you know, uh, that's where balance has to come into play. And
Yes.
sometimes we don't give ourselves the balance. It's we can get caught up into that either or, right? And
Yeah. And sometimes it's just, yeah, it's just something I guess I'm still
I know you're
understanding. I'll just
processing
stop
it, aren't
there.
you? Yes, you are.
Mm, yeah, but it's just interesting to express my emotions is something that is still very new to me. But I think I'm realizing that it's actually healthy to express your emotions. And you can only do that when you feel safe. So
Yeah,
creating enough safety
yeah,
in your being. So
yes.
I really, when people cry easily, I am actually like quite, I don't know. I
What
really
happens
like it
when
when I
people
see that
start
in
to cry?
people.
What happens
Because
when people start to cry with you?
when
How do
people
you feel
when
when somebody starts to cry? How do you feel? Tell me what do you experience?
I think my major thing that I'm learning not to do is I am a problem solver. So I will my first thing that comes in my head is like how can I help them? But then I'm realizing there's more to that always. Sometimes, most of the time, people just want to um, be present with other people and they can deal with it later on when they're calm and then they're collected and all of that. But some, when they're crying, they just need you to be present with them. That's what I'm learning.
And it's it, you know what? No, it's a
It is
feeling.
not easy for me, but I'm realizing that that's what people are really asking is to be for you to be present even when people are talking. Same thing.
Yes.
It's such a bad habit. Like when someone tells me their problems, my first instinct is to solve. I'm like, no, I just I just need to listen.
Mm. I think that
And
you know that's a part of the process
yeah,
of healing. When you realize,
right,
you know what, I don't have to solve the problem. You can listen, and I say this that listen for as long as you need to.
of course.
Listen
No,
for as
I
long
cannot
as
listen. I
it's
cannot listen more than two times though.
yes, yes,
One
yes,
is, well,
yes,
I'll give you grace too, but not more
yes,
than that.
yes,
Then I'm
yes,
like, I'm out.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you know
Uh,
what? It's one of those things when you've asked me what it
right,
is, like when you ask me what I think, that's when I'll interject and I'll give. But if you haven't asked, then
right,
we're not going there. You know,
right,
that's the point.
right. And that is like huge learning for me um presently, and it's life changing actually, because I'm realizing you don't really need to process that much.
Yeah.
um you can just chill most of the
It's
time.
not
You just
that,
don't
but
need.
here's the deal: when you keep processing and helping someone to process, you're denying them the growth of processing themselves. They got to learn how to process the shit themselves. Go through the stages, feel what they need to
Yeah,
feel, and
right.
own what they need to know, own, and do away with what they don't need, need to do away with. That's a process that they must go through themselves, and it's powerful. I will say this: when you see them actually doing the process, because you have pulled away. And I have a
Right.
situation in my life right now where there's a beautiful process taking place right now, and someone is
Mm,
finding their power. Um, and I will say it's because I said, you know what, I'm not processing your shit no more.
right. And
This
I
shit
think
is
it is
over.
also, yeah, it's also a form of creating people pleasing, creating safety in your environment, but I don't, that's not real
Or
safety
saving
because
someone. You know what's saving? You think you're going to save, or that think that there's that I was going to say it's a God complex, in a sense
it is
that,
a God
you know
complex.
what I mean, like
Oh my God.
that comes with a heavy, heavy burden, and then you realize this ain't my job. This is not my job, and it's, you know what? Why am I? And then wearing somebody else's stuff, then you start to wear their stuff. So there's a whole process that you have to come out of, and that is a part of the healing process, isn't it? That's the wounded healer. That's still a part of the wounded healer.
It is.
Hmm. Yes.
But it's really beautiful what then comes. And that's another thing I was reading today. I don't know what you think. It said like healing has become another performance, right? Like we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to do this and we need to do that. And it's not like that. You don't need to know everything. Life just will tell you exactly what you need to know and
In that
face,
moment, in that moment, if
right?
you're in the moment and you're
It's
experiencing the moment, yeah.
life is the best teacher. I'll show you this card. I really liked it. It said, "My instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacle." And that's what it is. Like
Mm,
your inner voice, your inner compass is always on and is always there for you, right?
mhm, mhm,
If you let it, if you listen to it, learn to listen to it.
mhm,
And I think we are really, at the end of the day, we are letting go of performing in another, just another way, right? It is a performance,
mhm,
um, where you want, it's just like you said, it's a God complex. It's really interesting.
mhm, mhm. So I know we
The
we kind of slid off the,
50
well, we
point.
didn't slide off the
Okay.
topic. You know what? We just gave all the different. As I said, this is a, it is a process, but I think that the power of becoming less available and more silent, um, is the clarity. And just me allowing myself to do that. Um, yeah, I think that there's a power in that alone that comes from allowing myself to do that, and not feeling like I have to be engaging at this time, and or certainly on the levels up in which, what I would have prior to going into this mode. So, and it will last for as long as it needs to last. And what's what's needing to happen is happening, and I'm present with it all. So that's the power that's coming from this moment. That If I didn't allow myself to do it, then I wouldn't see it. You see? And being okay with my moments, not uh, feeling like I need to be charged by all the shit that's going on around me or everybody else's moment. Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think me honoring me is what is helping me doing my work, you doing your work, you centering you, me centering me is helping to stabilize the freaking grid around us. Believe it or not, that's what I believe. That's the power of what we're doing. Even us having this conversation today, you know, great power that's coming from this conversation. People taking the
Yeah.
moment to think, and if it doesn't resonate with you and you're saying, what the hell are they talking about? Just means that you know what, you're just not there. You're not there.
Mm.
Most of the time, those people will have already clicked off.
Yeah, I feel like it's really interesting because it takes a lot of strength, inner strength, and that's what I feel is real strength anyways, not the yo, I'm so strong. Whoa, 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 whoa. I
Mhm.
think that is just inner complex, which is does not, I don't mean to say that you shouldn't be strong physically, but then inner strength means being true to yourself
Mm.
and true to your light. And that is why I'm so passionate about this because I feel like we're all so unique in our own way
Mhm.
and we all have our own gifts, but that means we need to learn how to be committed to ourselves and not and learn to stand. Like I see a tree because it's really like that, like deep roots, and then you're also shooting up to the sky. It means like you're grounded, but you're also connected to the spirit. And
Mhm.
so that beautiful dance of being a human but also a
Mhm.
spirit,
Mhm.
I feel like that's the most um beautiful thing. And you don't have to be beautiful for that. It's just that whole um I guess that's why it's called sadhana in the East. It's basically called
What was that? It's called what?
it's called sadhana, which means the what's the right meaning for this might be it is hard work. It's like chiseling, you know, um chiseling wood to create something beautiful, or chiseling a stone to create some beautiful sculpture. And it's a lot of hard work, but I think that's the most beautiful thing in my perspective, to you staying true to yourself. And that light, like you said, is is the best thing you can do for other people, being true to yourself. Because then that gives them um, a real example of how that looks like, and it's a real inspiration. It's really I don't even know if I it's life changing for me when if I when I feel this in my body. That's what we are really talking about, to get to know yourself
Yes.
and really deeply, intimately.
This is what this is about. And not only that, but you know what? I was sitting and I was thinking as you were talking, being able to be in spaces and places there where there is a lot of maybe it's all chaotic energy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Being able to be on this planet during this chaotic time and not be drawn in, but still be a part of it because you're centering yourself, being able to be out there. And I think that, what, we're either in the process of um, processing into that state, or what, you are existing in that state. And that I think that most folk that are more in the 5D are existing in that state, or coming into that place of existence, of being able to be in the chaos and not have the chaos draw you in all the different sections. Instead, you are centering yourself, creating your own reality, realizing what is real, not everything that is being thrust at you. So the chest is
Well,
coming on many different
that
levels, whether it be from your
yeah,
family or your friends or your community. Or
right.
am I making sense? Did I make sense, or did
Yeah,
I?
it's
Oh,
no, no, it's just I just laugh whenever you say that. That makes sense because I feel like it is. I was reading this book today. It said that, the sakura, which is the cherry blossoms in Japan,
mhm, mhm,
they come up in spring, but every year they get typhoons and they get a lot of storms there, which is exactly what the tree needs so that they get cherry blossoms. It
mhm,
makes them, it's like, I think that it's a very, if you understand tarot archetypes, very five of wands. It's like that clash, that
mhm,
contrast is needed for
mhm,
you to understand all the aspects of yourself.
mhm,
um it's like, how you prepare gold, keep burning, right? And then it's like, how is diamond created? You don't just get diamonds anywhere and everywhere.
mhm,
It's just like that whole process is part of the journey. It is what makes you the real you. I don't think that it's just like the lotus, right? You just Lotus doesn't grow in clean waters, only in muddy waters. So as it is uncomfortable, but that's what gives us strength, to be who we are, right? Develops the strength.
mhm. Yes, I was sorry. I was reading the comment back there. I think they already left the chat by Mighty Beast. It's talking about the snow, but that's going to just take me off. I'm sorry. I was listening, and then you know what? I got caught up in the comment, and you made a very, very good point. But I did. I
That's
caught
okay.
you. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I feel like the real, um mountains are not built through comfort. They go through the most, um like the worst turbulations, worst, um atmosphere to be who they are. And I think that's what we are talking about. All of us are so unique, but that means to get there requires you to develop the strength which comes through the challenges that you were talking about.
Absolutely.
You It's like if you work out, it's gonna hurt. Your muscles are going to hurt before they get stronger. That's just how
True.
it is. And to be okay with it.
Yes. Yes. You know,
And
that, that,
it just gets exciting because I feel like every trigger is to actually help you. Hey, own this part of yourself. Hey, integrate this. Hey, integrate this. Everything becomes is there to help us. So it's really powerful.
helping to
Yeah.
bring us into our self mastery.
Right.
Really, like you know what? Yeah, like you just as you just said, everything that seems like it's a trigger or a challenge, it is there to help us bring us to closer to our self mastery. That's the reason. No pain, no gain. You know,
And it's interesting that,
stagnation.
yeah, and we're going to end this because it's
Yes,
5 minutes
yeah.
past, but you always say this, and I forgot now. I guess it was not meant to be. So we'll move on.
You know, I'll tell you, I think you know what, a very good way to end it. I think point well made that there is different stages definitely, and with each stage, you know what, there is going to be a level of um, uncomfortableness, and depending on what it is, um, it's
Yeah.
going to be the level of uncomfortableness, but it's there for your growth. It's there to stretch you. It's there to help
Oh,
forge you into.
I just wanted to say that, and I think you have mentioned that too many times, that all of us are going through this.
Hmm.
All of us are always going through the transformation process.
Hmm.
It's just how we react to it, or I guess, but it's happening regardless. All of us. Because the mirroring never stops. It's
Hmm.
never stopped. It will come in another way,
That's right.
again and again.
That's right.
It's just fascinating how this universe is built. Mind blowing.
And it's like a matter of the mind, changing the mind. Like instead of why is this happening to me, to okay, what is this brought? Why is this coming? What is this? What is this coming to teach me? What is it that
Yeah.
I'm to learn from this? What is it that I'm to learn from this? You know, such a complete difference once you
I
are
mean,
in alchemy mode.
it's difficult at times. Like yesterday, I was like, why can't I just be shallow? Like
Yeah,
I just don't want to think about any of this.
yeah.
Can I just be like, sometimes you just wonder, you're like, I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Mhm,
I sign out.
mhm,
Um, like you said, I think that to change the perspective, really, that it's happening for me, and to take a pause, come back to it, you know. But yeah,
and you know
it
what?
can
Yeah, I'll
be.
tell you something. When you know that you were hardwired. What do I mean by that? You are hardwired for the assignment. So as much as you know what you want to walk away, the each enlightenment that comes, uh, that's just not happening. You're just coming more into your assignment. We were hardwired for this assignment. We chose our assignments. We chose these paths. And even like we chose the people that's all around us that we're experiencing the experience with. All of it. All of it.
That's
So
true.
you couldn't
But
come
yeah,
off the path if you wanted to. It's just gonna keep growing.
I know, but it's just like, I think that's where again balance comes in, to take a step back and
Right,
play. Because I
right.
think, like, play, please play, everyone. And I think that's a message for myself as well. Like, when life feels difficult, play.
Me
That means
too.
you're lacking play. Yeah.
I need to
And to
play.
just have fun. Yeah. So important and so underrated as well. Um, but yeah,
Maybe I'll go and
definitely.
shovel some snow and play in the
Yeah,
snow.
right. Do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do need to do some play. I think we all do.
Yeah, humor
Yeah.
is good.
And if
Humor
you're
and
doing it, you're
just
already doing it, and you are on your path. You know what? I salute you. I salute you. You know.
likewise. I think it's difficult at times because the polarity is just maddening at times. that's the problem. Like, oh my God, like it's like, it's just so interesting. I don't even want to go there, but you know what I'm saying. Like the
You do?
yeah, it can be just, it's like you say it, but nobody else sees it. And you're like, I am mad or something is wrong. But it's just, that's what life on earth is, right?
Mm, mm.
That's what strength really means. Like, I feel like that's what strength really means,
And when
you
you
know?
understand, you know what? When I think, okay, we're all on different
Yeah.
levels of frequency, and
Yeah.
it's not personal, just not on the same
It's not.
frequency. It's just not, we're just not the same frequency. And what frequency is an individual coming from? But sometimes it's not easy if we get caught up in our emotions or whatever. But, anyways, we will
Yeah.
bring this to a close because we are 15 past the hour.
Right.
And I don't know whether there was something more that you wanted to say regarding the topic at hand, but I love
Said
your
enough.
no, I love your points of view. I love the way that you express it, anyways, and world needs to hear it, and that's the reason why we're having this conversation. So you know,
Likewise.
um,
I really appreciate your point of view, because the thing is that I really feel like community is so underrated. That's my perspective, but I think, oh my God, that's like that's a gift. It's a gift, and it's a blessing to have people that you can have these conversations about. It can feel really isolated at times. And we've
yes,
talked about it before, but
yes, yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you. And
I
others,
appreciate you too as well. Maybe we should go back and read the comments before we go.
yes,
Don't you think? So
sure.
you want to? Okay,
I
plastic. Okay, the snow issue is deaf, a conspiracy. It's not the first time there's been snow that reaches deeper in the south. I'm from Canada, and there's been winters where there's been barely any snow. I'm from Canada too and grew up in Nova Scotia. So I get it. However, you know what? I don't ever remember in my lifetime where I saw it go like this. Of where, you know what, this weather pattern has been existing all over. I personally, so I don't know how old you were, but you know what? In
mm,
my almost 6 decades, nope, I didn't. So, you know, uh, to each his own. I'm saying, be careful. Has the storm been bad? Well, I think it depends on where you live. Like, for me, I'm going to say that, just having the frigid temperatures and that, I mean, yes, we've had snow, but not as bad as other places. So, um, sending blessings out to the places that are experiencing heavy conditions and bad conditions, and that you might all be safe because there's been deaths and all of that from all of this. So whether it's manufactured or it is actually Mother Nature speaking, I've not seen this happen all at the same time. So I'll leave y'all for the
to
hermiting.
your hermiting.
Yeah, to your
Thank you.
hermiting. Yeah.
To thanks.
Anyways, I thank you for those of you that showed up and participated in the comments. And I thank you once again, Ravneet, and look forward to the next discussion and conversation, which we do not know yet. And it will be over at Winds of Reflection, where we'll be having our next uh, conversation, continued conversation, and continuing the healing journey. And In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with love, peace, and good vibrations, and that you might make the end of your Friday evening um, a great one, because I'm going to make a great day, even though the snow is falling. And I feel so much better after we have a conversation. So I don't know what you have planned,
Me
but
too.
make a good evening, baby girl. And the rest of you,
I'm gonna have a good nap.
I don't blame you. I don't
But
blame you. You do that. So I'm going to say
thanks,
bye
everyone.
to everyone, and thanks for
Take
joining.
care.